Good tidings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Landy Lodge podcast. Before we launch this episode, we have some special people we need to thank, those special people being the sages of the lodge. The beautiful names you see displayed on your screen are the kind-hearted souls who donate to the lodge on a monthly basis. Without them, we simply would not be where we are today. If you would like to support the Landy Lodge for as little as $1 a month, just look for the link in the episode description. But now, without further ado, let's get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Landy Lodge podcast. We've got a brand new guest today. Brand new guest.
Brand new
guest. You might have seen him in some of the Smash streams. You might be a viewer of the Smash streams he puts on himself. After all, if you can't beat his Ness, you need to get good. My man, Treehouse, welcome to the Landy Lodge. What's going on, dude?
Dude, what's up, man? Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Dude, happy to have you here. I think, you popped into a Smash stream of mine. I think that's the first time we ever directly communicated.
That was the first ever thing. I remember, so one day I was just, everyone sometimes will just put on a YouTube video, clean their apartment, do whatever.
Yes.
And I did that to, I think it was maybe like the Gamers Join or something like that. And then your video just started to play next. And I think it had something to do with Kingdom Hearts and like the correlations of that and the 7 deadly sins or something. Mm-hmm. And I was cleaning and I heard it and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I stopped cleaning and I went over to my iPad and I just started watching. And I was like, oh man, this is really good. And then it just started to play the next video. And I was like, an hour later, I was like, that was really good. I'm going to hit subscribe and then I'll clean later. But I actually binged watched your videos for like a good hour. Oh, so I was just like, awesome. Like your channel's awesome. Really cool content. And it was just like, dude, this is like, I didn't even think stuff about this. Like, there's something about in your videos. It was like, I think he's got a little bit of a Tetsuya Nomura's mind in there.
It's called being a sicko. Like that's where that comes from.
Amazing. But yeah, it was really cool because then when I subscribed, I got a live notification. It was like, come play Smash, and I was like, this is where I'm a pop in.
Time to make my entrance.
Time to make my entrance.
Because dude, you came in and, as I like to say, clobbered the mic. You came in and just started knocking everyone out. Everyone's like, okay, we got a contender here.
Yeah, I used to go to tournaments and stuff like that. Like I've always been in Smash. Like first of all, like I just really like 3 main games, and that's Pokemon, Smash Bros, and Kingdom Hearts.
Well, you're welcome here, and that's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Amazing. It was so cool because I was like, all right, I might play my Dirty Nest for a little bit, might make it for a hot second, and it was funny because like it was so chill and it was awesome, and I was so focused. I was like, I need to win. It was a little toxic, but I love it. So
dude, competitive edge, that's what it's all about, dude. But listen, dude, thank you for your kind words. Honestly, I'm floored anybody even watches anything I make. Like, I don't know how you feel about your streams, but like, I don't know. I do my best. I try to have fun with it. I try to make people think. I try to like maybe peel back the curtain a little bit and say, okay, where are these ideas coming from? Like, what are the patterns of behavior that are being emulated? So like, I'm floored, honored when anyone has anything nice to say about anything I do. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
But don't pump my ego too much. Like if you're going to compliment me in the beginning of the podcast, when we get to the end, make sure you insult me. We need balance in the Landy Lodge.
Okay, that's you got a deal. You got a deal.
There we go.
I'll destroy you in Smash. How about that? I won't say anything bad at the end.
There it is. There it is. A takedown, an honorary takedown. But speaking of Smash, let's start with that because I'd love to touch on those 3 things you just mentioned. You mentioned Kingdom Hearts, Smash Brothers, and Pokemon. I'd be happy to talk about all 3 of those things today. Smash Brothers. Who do you see as the next 2 in the Fighters Pass? Call your shot. Call your shot. Who do you think it's going to be? And then who do you want it to be?
Who do I think versus what okay. So this is, first of all, this is what I've noticed with the Smash Bros. Character, especially at the end. So right now, at the very end, we're at the end of the second Fighters Pass. We have 2 more characters. Apparently, Masahiro Sakurai has said that this will be the last Fighters Pass. But you never know. That man is full of fucking surprises.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever can happen, you gotta be prepped, because whatever he says, it's not gonna happen. A couple things about the fighters. I think it's really weird that in every Smash Bros. Game, I think since Brawl, which isn't too many, but just the past two, so Brawl and Smash 4, Porky from Earthbound in the Mother series has always made like a huge appearance, like as a boss or like a trophy or stickers or anything like that. But something as beloved as Earthbound is not even seen in this game. So I don't think he's going to make it in as a character, but I just think it's really weird he hasn't made any kind of appearance in the game, right? So that sticks out to me, because Nintendo, they love Earthbound. And I've never, as a NES main, I've actually never played Earthbound. So as soon as I get like a nice computer, I want to stream that. But I have noticed that they usually like to do promotional characters, right? So at the end of Smash 4, we got Corrin, right, for the new Fire Emblem game. And I remember everyone had a hissy fit about that. It's like, oh God, okay,
Poor
fine.
Fire Emblem fans, man. They can't be happy without pissing everybody else off.
Right, yeah. It's like,
I feel bad.
Right. I saw this. It was such a funny tweet. It was like this one person walking in a crowd of people, and they were like walking towards someone, and then it had like just a big amount of space around them. So every time that little person was walking towards someone, they would kind of walk away. And it was like Fire Emblem fans be like, and I'm like, oh my God, that's kind of true. But I mean, if you love it, like I'm so happy for you. Like that's great. But what they've been doing is that Corrin was a big promotional character. They added Corrin in, right? So then at the end of the first Fighters Pass, we got Byleth, right? So I think at some type of, I'm not saying it's going to be another Fire Emblem character, because I think shit would go off the deep end if that happened. I think they're definitely going to do some type of other promotional character. I think there could definitely be some kind of like Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda in the Fighters Pass 2, only because there have been legitimate leaks about Zelda being a playable character, and I think kind of getting some type of female representation for Nintendo on that kind of tier is very important. And I just have a feeling we're going to get another Zelda, because especially when Masahiro Sakurai said I think it was in Terry's presentation, he said, unfortunately, we cannot change the Ganondorf and Zelda amiibo, right? Because in Smash 4, Ganondorf and Zelda had different appearances as they do in Smash Ultimate. So the fact he just kind of brought that up about just Zelda characters is kind of interesting to me. So I don't know what he's planning, but I'd be happy if we got some kind of Zelda representation, just because Breath of the Wild is like just one of the best games ever, or at least needs to be represented in a game like this.
It's a top 5 for me.
It's a top 5. Yeah, it's a top 5. I definitely think they're going to put some type of promotional character in. So I could see one more third party, and then, of course, another Nintendo character, I think. Who do I want? I want Sora, of course. I've always wanted Sora in Smash Bros. Even in Smash 4, I had my fucking fingers crossed the whole time.
Me too.
Like,
Me too. I've wanted this for too long. I've wanted this for too long.
Yeah, just too long. And I know there have been some talks about there's some kind of representative at a Kingdom Hearts conference for Disney, and someone asked about Sora being in Smash, and it's like, oh, would you like to see that kind of thing? And the thing is, though, is I don't know if Sora is going to happen now, just because we got Sephiroth. I mean, I love that Sephiroth is in the game.
Me too.
It's perfect. And Cloud felt even really empty from Smash 4.
He felt alone. He felt out of place. Like, it felt like if there was a lunch table, he was sitting by himself.
He would. Yeah, he'd be alone all by himself.
Like, even Banjo goes and hangs out with DK and Diddy,
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a good point. Cloud felt very, very isolated.
Yes, he felt very empty. And I would not be surprised, because I don't know if you remember this, but when Cloud first got into Smash 4, they actually gave details of a interview with Tetsuya Nomura and Masahiro Sakurai, and I was like, my boys, like the gods, sitting together, collaborating.
They're boys.
They're boys, dude. It's like, I don't know. Well, they've had to been talking for a while, because I mean, if they got Cloud in Smash 4, I mean, with Smash, they actually have to look years down the line into development. So when Incineroar first got announced, or no, who was it? It was I think it was Incineroar, but they had to look like years down the line. So Masahiro Sakurai actually went to the Pokemon company and said, we want a new rep in Smash Bros. Can you give us some early design concepts of the characters? And they would give it to him. So with this kind of thing, they look way down the line. Sakurai gets, I mean, they'll give him anything he needs, but Cloud felt very, very empty in Smash 4. And I thought it was even weirder he felt empty in Smash Ultimate, right? So the whole big thing of Ultimate is every single character together, right? Like every character's here. And there were rumors from legitimate sources saying that Cloud almost didn't make the cut. So I don't know. The fact that he just got in and then they made Sephiroth a DLC at the second pass kind of makes me think I wouldn't be surprised, and they just wanted to add another character. But I would love to see Sora. I think they could do it, but Masahiro Sakurai wants every character in Smash Bros. To be represented very well from their series. And I just don't know if they can do that with Sora, right? Because Disney or Kingdom Hearts is all about Disney and Final Fantasy. So if they're really going to put Sora in, they really need to add some of the Disney characters, I think, to make it feel like he's actually from a series. So will they do that? I don't know, man. I hope they do.
I think you bring up a good point, because I think that's where the difficulty is going to be with this, right? Because like look at Joker, Persona 5, his inclusion. You play on his stage. What do you see? You see characters from the game.
Right.
You feel immersed in that world, in that brand, right?
Right.
So it's like, what's the Kingdom Hearts stage going to be? I'm not sure they'd let it fly if it's just, a stage where it's, oh, look, it's Sora, Riku, and Kairi. There's Riku and Kairi cheering them on. It's like, no, they might have to work something out to get Donald and Goofy on that stage. And that's jumping through more and more hoops. Because like you said yourself, Sakurai wants these characters to feel the inclusion. Like, I don't know quite how you put it, but along the lines of what you're saying, you want the character to have its entire backing when it gets in.
Exactly.
Like, one thing that makes Sephiroth's inclusion so great is when Cloud got included in Smash 4, what'd you get? How many songs?
Just got 2 songs and a stage.
Songs? Like, there's nothing. There's no fluff material, right?
Right.
And like with Sephiroth, it's like, nope, here's all the series fluff. Here's this next level stage. By the way, there's the ending of the original game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of the biggest things about a Smash character being in Smash is that, you get some original songs, but you also get a remake of some other songs from the Smash team, right? So when Cloud got in Smash 4, they're like, bro, where are the remixes? Like, Final Fantasy VII music is absolute fire. When are they going to put some remixes in?
You think they would, right? You
think they would. Because you damn well know that the developers would love to do that.
I know what I think. I think they were spooked by Uematsu's work. They were like, I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want, I'll fuck it up. I don't want to touch it.
That's the thing. I mean, it is very intimidating when you have someone that good.
Well-renowned, too.
Well-renowned, right. Well, one really interesting thing, I'm not giving up on Sora completely because...
Me either.
Right. I'm not giving up. But one really interesting thing is that the composer for the Kingdom Hearts...
Yoko Shimomura.
Yeah, Yoko Shimomura. She actually composes some of the remade music for Steve in Smash Bros. Isn't that crazy? That's where I'm like, that's my one line of hope. That's my one line of hope, is that if she does that on Smash, then there's a chance. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
It's with Steve. I heard it was with Steve, and it was with another character. I don't know the other character, but it's 100% that she's in the credits of Smash Bros. For the music.
You have to wonder how she got that gig.
You have to wonder how. Right.
I mean, look, it could be what we're thinking, but it could also be Nomura and Sakurai are boys, and Nomura was like, "Oh, I know who could do a good job."
Yeah, exactly.
And it could be that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it could totally be that. It could also be, Sora for Smash, which is just my mind is just kind of, but it's only really weird because it's like, yeah, that's the only complicated thing about Sora is the Disney characters, but not only does that, does it make it tricky, but if it happens, right, having Disney characters technically in Smash, what that's also going to do is that's going to open up some other doors for Smash Bros. Because the one rule about being in Smash is that the character has to be originally from a video game. So that's why Goku or SpongeBob or whoever the fuck crazy character you want. Harambe, yeah, if you want Harambe in, unfortunately he's not an animated character. I'm sure there's an animated series about him, but he's not a real character. And so I don't know. I mean, even though the Disney characters wouldn't be playable, I feel like that would kind of push the door for not making, the characters wouldn't necessarily be in Smash, but who knows, down the line you could get stages from not video games but from other kind of possibly animes or
other medias and stuff.
Other medias, exactly. So that's where I don't know if he wants to cross that line, but this is like one of the only tweets I made where I got a lot of likes and retweets because my Twitter's kind of small, but I put at the very end of Kingdom Hearts 2 when you beat Sephiroth and then Cloud and Sephiroth fight each other, Sora says like, where did they go? And I think someone said, I think it was Tifa, she may have says like, they're off to fight a great battle, and then you just see a clip from Smash Bros, from Smash Ultimate, when Cloud and Sephiroth are fighting, and I'm like, that's where they went. They finally went to Smash Bros.
You mean they're not in Quadratum?
They probably are. Yo, that's a whole different thing we got to talk about. But for Smash Bros, I definitely want to say I want Sora, but I think we're gonna get one more third-party character, right? Because E3 is coming up. Yep. Without question, right? Because the end of the Fighter Pass ends right at the start of December. So December 2021 is when the second pass is supposed to end. So what's going to happen is that we're going to get one during the summer, or we could get two. It could be possible because E3 is happening this year, and it's official that Nintendo's going to be there. So, I mean, they don't go to E3 without Smash. So we're going to get one character from there. And then I'm not sure what they're going to do for the next one, but I do think that we could get another extra bonus character, kind of like with Piranha Plant. Because if you go online, they actually have specific numbers for the amiibo or for fighters. And this was from credits to Papa Gino's for his YouTube channel, but he was talking about how there was actually an extra number in between one of the new DLC characters and like the upcoming amiibo or something like that. So it is possible, but I think we're definitely going to get a third party and then a Nintendo rep that has to do something with a big game coming up. So I would love for it to be I would love Sora. I see maybe Sora or Crash, maybe even Master Chief. I don't know. I don't want to go down that because it would be really cool if we had a first person shooter rep in Smash. That's like the only genre we're missing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but every character that's been included in this Fighter Pass comes from a company that was part of Smash 4.
Oh. Yeah.
But help me out. Where was Microsoft in Smash 4?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think they were in Smash 4.
I feel like there's a missing...
Well, you know what it could be? I'm not sure, but maybe Microsoft had some kind of trophy or something in Smash 4. I don't think so, but I would say Minecraft Steve is the only one. But there was an interview after Steve was released, and they've been working on Minecraft Steve for 5 years.
That's so insane.
For Smash Ultimate, dude. So like while we're talking about this, dude, there could be another.
They're working
Smash.
They're working on next gen Smash.
Exactly.
As we know it.
Exactly. So you just never know. But I mean, man, they planned way down the line for this.
Dude, I got to be honest. I think you have me sold on the Breath of the Wild Zelda, because if it ends in December 2021, I mean, I'm just kind of calling my shot a little here, but
right.
I feel like that's around. That may not be when Breath of the Wild 2 drops, but that's when we'll know.
Exactly. That's when we'll know. The only other thing there are a couple things that are just weird to me, right? So I think it's kind of weird we don't have a Pokemon rep. I think that's a little odd, like a new Pokemon rep for the newer generations. Because this is the first time the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have ever developed for a home console. So, you think that would be kind of big, especially with the direction they're going. But the Porky thing's kind of weird. Pokemon's a little odd to me. But if you want to actually get really detailed about it, so Corrin was a promotional character in Smash 4, but also so was Bayonetta. The Bayonetta game just came out for the Wii U exclusively. So if you want to think about it, really, 2 exclusive characters at the end of Smash 4.
There you go.
Right there. So I would not be, that could happen again at the very end of the second pass. But I do find it a little weird because the DLC characters now, they all kind of feel like they should have been in base game, I feel like. You know, I think it was kind of weird that Cloud came in with just the regular 2 songs and just the stage. Like, they could have added that in. You know, they added Ken as the new character. You think, like, there were rumors of Steve or Banjo coming in. I feel like they just could have been.
Well, let's remember that Nintendo's plan was for, like, how do I put it? Like, the Wii U should have lasted them twice as long as it did. That was the original plan. So whatever version, whatever Smash we're playing now, it's Smash 5.
Yeah, Smash 5.
Okay, so so the whole time, like, let's just be honest, Smash 4 and Smash 5 are kind of the same thing.
Right.
Kind of, right? So it's like whatever they were planning for Smash 4 just bled in to Smash 5. You know, like I think that's why you're seeing so many of the fighters are coming from companies that they had pre-established relations with.
Right. Definitely. That's a great point. And it's really weird because I don't know if you remember, but if you ever played Smash 4 and you played if you played the DLC characters, so some of that included like Cloud and Bayonetta. To me, okay, first of all, Cloud and Bayo were broken in Smash 4, right? So they're a little nerfed. They're a little nerfed now.
I'm not sure they ever fixed Bayonetta.
I don't think they ever did. I know.
As far as Smash 4 goes,
as far as Smash 4,
story,
yeah. I don't. You're totally right. I don't think they nerfed characters or anything like that. But it felt like to me that like if I were to play, so I played Smash 4 like maybe just a couple months after Ultimate just to see how it felt. And Cloud and Bayonetta really felt like they were supposed to be in Smash Ultimate, or their play style, they were so broken, they were very fast paced. Yeah. So to me, I'm like, this kind of feels like Smash Ultimate to me or something like that. So
when did Cloud drop? Do we have a date? December. He was released December 15th, 2015, and the Switch came out in early 2017 or 16.
Early 2017.
So like a year, less than a year and a half out from the launch of the Switch, I think they had their sights set. Yes. I don't think they made the Switch in a year and a half.
Oh, no way. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this real quick, but Game Freak / the Pokemon Company, they said they did not think the Switch was going to be successful.
We talked about this on my last episode.
Really?
And that's why Sword and Shield tripped them up so much, because they thought it was going to be a mobile game. Yeah. And then Nintendo was like, nope, we're doubling down.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Well,
they were like, go.
Well, I mean, with the Wii U, if I were Game Freak, I'd be like, oh shit, like this. They
sucks. Weren't wrong to see the writing on the wall. Nintendo just said, we're not going down without a fight, and they won. They won.
Right, they won, and they're bringing revenge with them now for charging these main prices for games and selling them and getting better profit than they did for the Wii U.
Nintendo games hold their value better than the dollar bill.
Yeah,
okay?
They seriously do.
Let's just be real.
That's so fucking true.
I bought Sunshine for $50. I'm seeing people sell it for $80 on eBay.
It's insane, dude. Especially those GameCube games. Like, they're really going up. They're getting a little harder and harder to find all the time.
I don't know how. I feel like everyone I knew had a GameCube.
Dude, it's really insane. I mean, because Nintendo, it's like I know people are getting kind of mad at them for charging so much, like for Skyward Sword, right? A game that's almost 13 years old, maybe 15 years old, that they're going to be remaking or porting onto the Wii U or on the Switch. But the thing is, it's like, that's part of the game, man. If you can keep the game's value up and that quality and that name brand, like, that's what they're really good at.
That's kind of the thing. It's like, if you wanted to buy the Wii Skyward Sword, it's probably going to run you $50 anyway.
Right.
It's not Nintendo's. I do it wrong. I'm not trying to fucking kiss ass. Course, if you don't want the game and you think it's too pricey, don't get it. Don't get
exactly.
it.
Just don't get it.
Don't get it. Don't get it. Yeah. But like, it's not Nintendo's fault that they can still sell these old games for $50 on their old platforms.
Right. Exactly.
So what are they going to do? They're going to make the Switch version of Skyward Sword cheaper than the Wii version?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I wish it wasn't this way. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I wish things were different.
Exactly.
What can you do? It's Legend of Zelda. Right. It's an icon of international culture, and it's not blowing it out of proportion to say that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely is. Yeah, that's totally right. And like, the one comparison I could make to someone who doesn't really play video games is that maybe Nintendo, when they're very controlling of their IPs and their pricing, I mean, it's very similar to Apple, right? I mean, Apple, you can't do a lot with their products. They're not very flexible. There's no price gap. They're in a box and they're going to stay there, and people are going to love it, and they still do. So it's like that's kind of how like people want themes and, you know, custom themes and stuff like that, and that's not going to happen. Like you're going to get it, and they're going to control the user, and like people seem to be okay with it. I mean, they're not, but they're still going to buy it.
Exactly.
They're still going to buy it. So it's like but the fact they have so many IPs in Smash Bros. I actually didn't realize this for a while, but Banjo Kazooie was actually the first character from the States to be like represented in Smash, and I was like, oh my God, I never realized that. All the other characters aren't from America. So that's huge.
Wasn't Banjo Kazooie developed by Rareware, right?
Right.
Wasn't Rareware a company in England?
It could be. That is true. I have
so
no
maybe
idea.
First Western character.
First Western. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, Western.
That's okay. I'm being a fucking
please. I want to learn. No, that's amazing. Yeah, first Western character. Sorry. Yeah, Banjo's the first Western character for sure.
Yeah. And
Steve from Minecraft. I don't know exactly the origins of Steve either.
Steve is Microsoft. I feel like Microsoft. Am I crazy to think Microsoft always owned Minecraft?
I don't want to say yes or no, but I feel like they always have too.
As long as I've been aware of Minecraft,
right?
And again, I could be showing my age with that, but as long as I've been aware from them, okay. I just looked it up. Rare was a British video game developer company before they were bought out by Xbox, but now they are from the States because Microsoft bought them out.
Oh,
so you are technically right. You are technically right.
I'm also technically wrong.
Yeah, you're also technically wrong.
No,
Isn't that funny how things work? Is that funny?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. So it's like, and I know, like Microsoft bought Bethesda too, or something like that recently. So, dude, I don't now.
Big power play. Big power play. So I don't know, but I definitely see for Smash, you know, maybe like a good Nintendo, because for Smash 4 we got 2 at the very end, right? And then, you know, we got, so let's see. So we had 2 DLC characters for promotion, right? You could say Bayonetta and Corrin could count. Mm-hmm.
And then for the first pass, we had Byleth, right? So that was a big promotional character, right? So I feel like we got to get at least one in this next pass. Like I know Min Min is like I think ARMS is awesome. Like it's a great Nintendo. Like
I've never played ARMS, but like I'm just happy people have a game to play.
Yeah, exactly. I've never played it either, but I'm so for Nintendo, like just making something different and new.
I won't lie though, there's a part of me who it's like I see and I have a lot of love for games like Splatoon and ARMS, both games I haven't played, but there's the part of me that when I see them getting so much love and attention, I just like look over at Star Fox and Metroid and I'm just like,
dude, I know.
But like,
oh my God,
but them.
Right. Yeah, it's like there's so
and I don't blame them. I don't know how ARMS sold, but like I imagine that they think those games can sell better than the others. I think a Metroid game would sell more than they realize.
Oh, definitely.
But Star Fox definitely has a niche audience.
Right. For sure.
I don't want to run up too much time on Smash.
Oh, you're good. No worries. Also, it's the 35th anniversary of Metroid. I'm pretty sure as well.
Really?
So yeah, this year we got Pokemon's 25th, Mario 35th, Zelda 35th, Metroid 35th, which is kind of crazy. And we haven't really gotten anything about like Zelda or Metroid.
They're waiting. I think the way Nintendo does it, because I think their year technically started this month. I know that sounds weird.
No, I totally see what you're saying.
But breaking it up quarterly, and think about it, right? Because like it was the year of Mario, and then now you had that Mario Animal Crossing promotion at the end of March, because that was that's the end of the year of Mario. The year of Zelda has only actually been going on for like a week.
Exactly.
So I think we're primed for some big Zelda news soon. Nintendo would not have signed up for E3 if they didn't have big splashes. And trust me, with Sony not doing E3 and Microsoft being a little lackluster right now,
that's pretty odd.
Nintendo can devour the culture right
Oh,
now.
they're already killing it, dude.
If they announce a new Smash Fighter, Breath of the Wild 2, and some Metroid 35th anniversary collection with a release date for Metroid Prime, at the risk of getting everyone's expectations too high, they can clobber the mic. They can crush the culture.
God damn! I wish I had some cash on me. I could just throw it in the air. I mean, they have the potential, but yeah, I could talk about Smash all day, speculation and stuff. I kind of know a lot.
Well, dude, then you know what? Then you're just gonna have to come on for regular Smash updates.
Sounds good, man. I'll do it. Sounds good, homie.
We'll make that work. But let's before we get to Kingdom Hearts, let's talk Pokemon. Now, Pokemon, I'm gonna be doing a Nuzlocke soon. Have you ever done a Nuzlocke?
I've never done it. No, I actually don't know too much about it. Actually.
Gotcha. Well, it's as simple as there's a whole bunch of rules, but the main rule is if your Pokemon faints, that's it.
That's it.
Can't use it anymore.
Right.
You also can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter on every route. There's a few other rules. Those are the ones off the top of my head.
Right.
You know, for so long, the fans have had to invent things like Nuzlocke to make the game more challenging and interesting. Yep. Do you think Pokemon is finally headed towards an era where it can go? I hate to treat Pokemon like it once used to be a top RPG.
I know.
But when you think about it, Pokemon was a big part about bringing RPGs over to the West.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, it was huge.
For so many people, Pokemon is baby's first RPG, and that's a special thing.
It is.
Do you think Pokemon can go back to being something at the top of our culture, instead of just low-hanging fruit for people to rip on?
That's really tricky. I mean, I think for at least now, as of right now, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's definitely going to be that way in the future. Because right now, so the first two gens of Pokemon, right? So Satoshi Tajiri, like he's the main creator of Pokemon. And then you have what's his name? Junichi Masuda, who's also the guy who does the music, but now he's really the main director of the game. So this is actually Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. This is actually going to be the first time for a mainline Pokemon game that's going to be created not by Game Freak, but we're actually going to have the same person, Junichi Masuda, really being in charge. So I think they're definitely starting to get in the right direction of doing something new, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And that's what they've been doing for 25 years. But I know the past at least 6 or 7 years, Junichi Masuda has said in interviews that kids don't have the attention span like they used to. And so he wants to make the difficulty vary, not super challenging, but I saw in an interview from 2 years ago when they were making Pokemon Sun and Moon that they never thought about making a difficulty mode. They never really thought about it. They wanted to actually, when Pokemon first originally came out, it was intended for everyone, all ages. They never said, we're going to make this for kids. It's really for everyone. And I think it's very odd because the Pokemon Company in itself is doing so well. I mean, with their merchandise, it's the top grossing kind of company. So like all these media platforms for anime, Pokemon's doing great. Cards, Pokemon's doing great. Video games, is doing great. Clothes now, plushes, like they're on top right now. The top grossing multimedia platform is Pokemon. I think second's like Hello Kitty or something like that, actually.
Yeah, Sanrio, and then there's
Winnie the Pooh or something as well. Yeah, something crazy like that. But I know Pokemon's on top. I don't know if they're actually going to make things more difficult. I really wish they at least gave you the option to turn the EXP share off, like in Sword and Shield. Like that was a big thing. People were like, that's kind of weird. Because, you know, like with HMs and stuff like that, a lot of people didn't like those, but
I'll say that's something that I do like, that you don't need an HM slave anymore.
Right, exactly.
It's an outdated idea.
It is, yeah. The one thing I'll say about like Sword and Shield is that this is like the first ever Pokemon game where they didn't put all this stuff you had to do in it, and it was pretty easy, right? But it was also one of the most enjoyable games I've played, which is pretty odd. So people are saying, oh, like, where's this? Where's that? Where's this? But I actually had a great time not using those mechanics and stuff like that in it. So I think time will tell, because we're at that point of 25 years, the 25th anniversary, where they're going to have to start having new people develop Pokemon. And we're kind of already seeing that with, the new Pokemon games, at least with the remake. I know people don't like the chibi robo style or whatever like that, but with Diamond and Pearl, I mean, they're doing a 1-for-1 remake, which I think is a great idea. Don't mess and add these little things up. Like, people, Diamond and Pearl, that was at the point where Pokemon was actually not doing so well. So they were supposed to just have the first 2 gens, right? And then they made a third, and then they made the fourth. And that's actually, and the third generation, they saw the sales kind of go down. So in an interview with Junichi Masuda, he said that they went all out for Diamond and Pearl, and it did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when Sword and Shield came out, it passed Diamond and Pearl, and people were like, "Oh shit! Like, this game's actually selling really well." So yeah, I think we're gonna see a different type of Pokemon in the next couple of years, especially with the Arceus Legends. I am
Mm-hmm.
just, you don't know how happy I am that they're finally doing something new.
Can I tell you something that I realized about Legends?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that I actually think, and I could be wrong, but I
no,
think,
tell me.
because I always look for these things, right? I always try to peel
Mm-hmm.
the curtain back. I think there's actually a fourth wall narrative in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, and like, I want to make something clear. I
Yeah,
enjoyed Sword and Shield. I think it's
yeah.
better. I liked it way more than Sun and Moon.
Oh, me
And
too.
as
Yeah.
much as the story mode was a bore, let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I spent maybe 50 hours running around the wild area,
Yep.
catching Pokemon,
Exactly.
doing raids, hitting up
Hell
the
yeah.
boys. We're raiding tonight.
Yeah.
So it gave me a lot of hope. I was like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
there's something new going on here.
Right.
This mechanic is pretty cool. So it's like, you kind of start to see like, oh, wait a minute, they're shaking up the
Mhm.
bag a little bit.
Yes. Exactly.
Right. So going back to this fourth wall narrative idea. So it seems clear that Pokemon is in need, despite how well Sword and Shield sold, is in need
Mhm.
of a new beginning. The fan base, even people, I guess, like you and I, who enjoyed Sword and Shield, were like,
Yeah.
yes, but we want something newer. We want something fresher. So they said,
Right.
okay, fine. We're not going to take you to like the super ultra Pokemon League with the buff up gyms and the ultimate
Right.
Elite Four. And like, no.
Yes.
You're going to
No.
go back to the beginning, and you
Mhm.
yourselves are going to rebuild this thing.
Right.
You, the player, are going to go out there
True.
and you're going to rebuild the Pokédex,
Yeah.
rebuild the lore. I
Definitely.
think it's a really, really good idea.
Oh my
And I
God,
think, because
yeah.
here's the thing, you're going to have Pokemon battles. You're going to
Yeah.
battle people in the wild. You're going to battle robbers and bad guys and shit like that. At least that's the
Yeah.
impression I'm getting. It's just that
Definitely.
there's not this idea of a league. Everyone has a league ID and everyone's
Right.
just battling to go up and down the ranks. It's like, no, you're in a much more archaic time. I think
Mhm.
you're going to see people using Pokemon to rob banks. You're going to see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
you're going to have to fight bad people, like criminals
Yes.
Pokemon. It's not just going to be Team Rocket,
Right.
They're not
Exactly.
things don't seem that organized,
Right.
It seems
Exactly.
a little indigenous, a little archaic, like things are more spread out.
Right. That's a really good point. Well, I mean, because I know the Pokemon company, particular Masuda, he said that kids don't have, the attention span to play these games, but kids are completing Breath of the Wild. Kids are doing all these other games that are way harder than Pokemon. They can do it. If you give a kid a hard game, they'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Like, you'll be really surprised. But one thing that came out in I think it was 2017 or 2018, is that there were rumors that Nintendo was helping Pokemon with a new Breath of the Wild Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And as soon as Legends came out, that was it. And I don't know if you've seen Pokemon's new Game Freak's new like headquarters, or their new building that they're working in. Each room is actually based off a city from the games. If you see pictures of it, it looks fucking sick.
That's
right?
insane.
So it's so, like, what is it?
That is
Lavender,
insane.
like Lavender Town. It's like purple and white, and it's just like, it's so cool. But that building is super duper close, I think, connected to Nintendo's headquarters, or another part of Nintendo's work area. So do I think that's a coincidence? No, because I thought Pokemon started to change a little bit in Sun and Moon, because when they got rid of the gyms, I actually really liked that idea, because they were doing something different.
Mhm.
Right? So like the whole, like, you go to gyms, you win the Elite Four, you catch a special Pokemon after, you face someone really hard, that's it. As soon as they kind of even did that, I was like, this is cool. It's like, that's when they really mixed it up a little bit. But even if you look back on some other games, Pokemon never used to be this easy, right? So Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is actually a little challenging, but especially Pokemon Black, Black and White, and Black and White 2, those games are
That was their
intense.
first shot at trying to do something fresh and new. That was their first shot at it.
That was, and they've talked about it. They said this was the time we really wanted to try something different. It was basically a reboot of Pokemon that they tried with Gen 5, because even, I mean, they did things differently in Black and White 2, but in Pokemon Black and White 1, you can only catch that generation Pokemon. You can't catch any other ones, right? So when you first start, you pick a main Pokemon, you find wild Pokemon, but there's no Kanto, no Johto, no Hoenn, no any of that, right? No first like Gen 1 to Gen 4. It's just Gen 5. So that's when I was like, okay, they're really trying to like do this again, or they're trying to do something different. And then Black and White 2, they just went crazy. I mean, if you listen to the music now, I mean, because Black and White 2 is based off Masuda's visit to New York, all the big buildings and stuff like that. So I forget what city it is, but in Gen 5, there's this really long bridge you go into for a big city, and it's based off the Brooklyn Bridge and New York City. So, I mean, but just like the triple battles that you could do in that game was a great idea, but they didn't really keep that up. And then Mega Evolutions, I thought were a really great idea, but they seem to be kind of going away from that too.
I really like the Mega Evolutions too.
I do too.
Better than Gigantamax.
Better than Oh, definitely.
The Gigantamax gameplay mechanic is awesome. Like the raids and the giant Pokemon is awesome. The art direction of Gigantamax is like.
Exactly. Right. That's what I think too. And especially like incorporating the whole raid stuff is definitely from Pokemon Go. Like they took a little Pokemon Go and threw it in there, you know, because that's what you do in outside in Pokemon Go. But it was a little weird because it's like they're really like Pokemon seems to be thriving, you know, with Pokemon Go, the cards, especially the cards right now, even the merchandise that's selling right now for the 25th. But something about the games is just not there right now. And that's where they really started. So the fact that they're trying something new, like this Diamond and Pearl remake, I'm actually super excited for. And this is the first time Game Freak is not going to be the main company they're working with.
And can I interrupt you for a second?
No, please.
Because I actually agree with you. As someone who skipped over Diamond and Pearl, I'm very excited for these remakes.
Yeah.
If I were to choose all the art styles Pokemon's presented me with, I would want Arceus to be every freaking game.
Yes.
But I actually prefer that top-down chibi style to the Sword and Shield Sun and Moon art style that we've had lately. And that's why I'm really not that upset with the Diamond and Pearl art direction. Listen, had they not announced Legends and just the Diamond and Pearl remakes, I'd be like, why? Come on.
Oh, gosh.
But since they announced Legends, which gives us that 3D art style that we've been begging for all this time.
Definitely. Right.
And then they show us Diamond and Pearl with the top down. I'm like, yes, give me both. Make Arceus feel new. Make Diamond and Pearl take me back. Perfect. Yes, I was a big fan of it.
That's so true. That's an excellent point. That's like, it's everything you want. Because I mean, you're totally right. Imagine if they announced Diamond and Pearl and they didn't announce Legends, dude. Twitter would be on fire. They'd be trending in the worst possible way.
Forget about it.
Oh shit, dude. No, it would be absolutely over. But it was something about what I personally liked. I don't know if you've heard someone say this before, but with each of the 2D Pokemon games, right? In each generation, you would see Pokemon from the previous game, but you would see them in a different art style, right? So that was something I really thought was special, because now with the 3D models, they're all looking the same. And I personally loved the different styles from Gen 1. So even with Fire Red and Leaf Green, I liked that style. And then I thought it was also kind of different with Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire. Like I liked playing both of those games when they released around the same time period or the same generation, but they had different art styles. And that's something I kind of miss with Pokemon, because I've never really cared about graphics. Like I just want the Pokemon art, you know, like the original Pokemon. But yeah, the fact if they didn't do that, they would be screwed. I mean,
it'd be a madhouse. And just to go more off on what you're saying, I like the idea that Game Freak is not going to have a hand in the Pokemon snaps. Like that's Bandai Namco. Go for it. Great development house.
Right.
They're hit or miss on a lot of things, but when they hit, they hit. And then you have the team that's working on these Diamond and Pearl remakes. Good. Good. Game Freak should be
Yes.
focusing on Legends.
Right.
Like, leave the remakes and the spin-offs, outsource it. You're Pokemon. You could pay any development house on the fucking planet anything to make you a game.
Yeah.
So I just feel like as a company, they're making smarter decisions too.
Right.
You know?
They're making smarter decisions, but for them, it's got to be really hard because they've had something that they didn't think was going to last. It was supposed to end at Gen 2. And then they just kept going.
I gotta interrupt. I almost don't buy
it.
in to any of these companies and like franchises stories where they're like, oh man, we thought we were done after that second season. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I get that it makes a good story, but it's like, I don't know. Red and Blue and Gold and Silver sold way too much. They sold, you know how many VHS tapes I bought of Kanto? They were making too much money to ever fathom that they were just going to stop. It makes for great stories, but it's like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
That's such a good point. I never realized that. Because for them, that sounds great. It's like, oh, we were about to stop when we made all this money.
We thought it was over.
Well, one great example of putting Pokemon and the potential that it has was for a 15-year-old game called Pokemon Coliseum. And I don't know if you want to dude, oh my God. Am I about to see something crazy right now? God, I fucking love Pokemon Coliseum. I'm very excited.
Okay. So this game, God, I have to turn the thing off. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Oh, there we go. You see this?
Yes.
This was Game Freak's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Ever since they put this out, I was like, but why aren't you like what they did?
Right.
Like, this looked great.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm crazy, but like,
it's so
it
beautiful.
looks just as good as Sun and Moon.
Oh my God, definitely. Oh my God, it's better. Yeah.
Like, and oh my God, the genius idea that you start your party as an Umbreon and an Espeon.
So fucking cool.
I was like, yes, that is new, that is fresh.
Yes.
Look, this game isn't a fucking like masterpiece, okay?
Oh,
but
yes.
there is something about this game that was beautiful, creative, fresh, like, oh my God, I don't know many people who even know about this game. So you said that and it freaked me out. I was like, okay,
dude.
Okay.
Well, it's
my God.
Oh my, I'm so happy that you actually have that. Yeah, because people don't know. You don't have to look it up. Do whatever you want. But if you want to in the future, if you open up Pokemon Coliseum opening when he goes into the building and explodes the building and runs out with Espeon and Umbreon on the motorcycle, that's 10 times better than the graphics in Sword and Shield.
Right, and like that's a level talk about an introduction when you're like, I get to be that guy.
Yeah, hell
the guy on the motorcycle running away. Like, whoa! I'm usually just some fucking nose picking kid, like, who just left his single mom's house. Now I'm this guy. Yes.
Yo, we got a fucking 25-year-old badass with sick ass boots blowing up.
He's got the Xehanort eyes. They were yellow.
Dude, holy shit. Just dude, Wes is one of my favorite character designs in Pokemon, hands down.
Dude, like this game, man. I don't know many people who know about this game. This makes me happy.
Dude, I played that for hours on end. Boom, 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 boom. Like the music is so fucking good too. Like I fucking love that game. But that is something where Pokemon, their potential shows, right? They thrived off of that game, but it wasn't made by them.
No.
And it was just like
it was their worst nightmare because I never looked at Pokemon the same. I think this is why I fell off Diamond and Pearl. I fell off that because I'm looking at that. I'm like, but you made a console game and it was awesome.
Right.
And I was just like, but
yes.
But it's so bad. It's like I don't know how to put it, but
right.
I on a whim looked up what Pokemon Coliseum sells for on eBay, and there's people listing it for like $150.
Well, I looked it up too. It's $100.
I would never sell this, by the way.
Oh, never, dude. Because dude, something about that memory of having it is just way more valuable than what $150. But
exactly,
I had that game.
This game's more valuable to me than 1 month of car insurance. Okay.
No, for real though. And it's also like people forget that game came out around the same time when Gen 3 and Jirachi came out, and they actually had a special bonus disc that showed the movie of the Jirachi movie, and you could actually plug that in and get Jirachi in the game. And that's
No
how I got
way.
Jirachi. I had a disc. Yeah, I had a bonus disc. If you type in Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc, it's like Pokemon Coliseum, but it has like an extra, basically an extra page or a little column, and it comes with the bonus disc. So,
Whoa.
and I think Jirachi's actually on the disc itself. I'm not exactly sure, but it will show you a clip of the movie, and it'll show you a way, I think, where you can plug your Game Boy in and get the game.
That is cool. That is cool.
It's so cool. That's where they were really doing. I mean, that was just sick.
And I brought this up. It's around this time, and this is why I'm excited, right?
Yeah.
That Bandai Namco's doing Snap, that this other house is doing the Diamond and Pearl remakes, because some of the best Pokemon experiences I've had didn't come from Game Freak. And that's not a shot at Game Freak.
Bro.
Game Freak has made my favorite games like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but it's stuff like this, man. Like, dude, that's where it's at.
That kind of blew my mind, that sentence. The best Pokemon games I've experienced weren't from Game Freak.
A lot of my favorites.
A lot of them are. That's such a good point. Like XD Gale of Darkness was cool too. Like that was fire. But something about Coliseum was just like, that's what,
because it was new. It's the first console adventure for Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's really true. Because it was a Pokemon Coliseum on that game, on the GameCube, XD Gale of Darkness. They actually had.
Oh, wait a second. I think we're fake news here.
Are we?
Oh, wait, no. They just slapped their logo all over this. No. Developed by Genius Sonority Incorporated. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Because you know what? I didn't see the only logos I saw on the case was Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. I'm like, wait a second. Very clever.
Very sneaky of them. Here,
it says it right here in the tiny little print. Developed by Genius Sonority Incorporated. Those bastards.
Let me see. I just want to make sure
that tells me that they liked this game so much. They were like, put Pokemon Company at the bottom. Just like
this is good. This is good. But
this is good stuff. Put our name on it. Like,
I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So Pokemon Coliseum, I think it's bonus. Yes. Okay. It was for Pokemon Coliseum. Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc. Yes, this is it. Okay, so it says it's like a whole nother. I forget if you could buy them 2 in 1 or if it came all together. But the bonus disc has like Jirachi, I think, in the corner or something like that.
Okay,
let me see if it pops up. But it's $398. Holy shit! Oh my god!
Better
dude.
than the dollar, people. Don't give this shit to GameStop for 10 cents. Don't do it, guys.
Don't do that shit, dude.
Hold
it.
If you
hold
have to
that
put
shit
it
forever.
in a box and put it away, like it's
Yeah, so I don't know if you're looking at it now, but like that's the disc, and it has a little movie side on it too. Like that was one of the most popular things. They all came out with the movie, but yeah, that's such a good point. It wasn't my favorite Pokemon. I love that sentence, by the way. I fucking love that. I want to get that quoted.
Be careful, because Game Freak won't like that. That's their least favorite. Their worst nightmare. I'm telling you.
Well, it's actually pretty crazy because I know they made Little Town Hero about maybe 7 months ago or something like that, and that was all from Game Freak.
Don't waste your time, Game Freak.
Yeah, don't waste your time. But I remember in an interview they were saying, I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. Like, I'm not touching that. But it's like, but it's also like, I remember them saying, well, when we make Little Town Hero, we get all the money from it, or we get at least most of the money from it. So when they're making for Nintendo gets a half of that cut, because people forget Nintendo's one thing, the Pokemon Company is a different thing, and Game Freak is also a different thing. So all those three, like, I've always loved Pokemon.
Well, what for some, if you don't, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, don't be.
Okay, so what Nintendo used to do back in the day, right? Because you brought up an interesting point there. You're like, remember, Nintendo and Game Freak, Pokemon Company, they're separate entities. Mm-hmm. But what Nintendo used to do is they used to fund a lot of these development houses. They did this with Rareware back in the day. Mm-hmm. They used to fund them, and what they would do is they'd either, like in the case of Rare, give them Donkey Kong and be like, yo, make us proud, go do the thing. Or with Pokemon, they'd be like, we're going to fund you, but now we're going to be partial owner of this IP.
Right.
But we'll give you the money you need for it was such a smart business move when you think about it, because if they didn't do that, Game Freak could have taken Pokemon and run with it.
Oh my god, yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, you know who really saw Pokemon and said that's going to be huge?
Who's that?
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
he's like,
of course he did.
But buy the rights now.
Well, back when it was first being designed, Capsule Monsters was the first thing, and then it got formed into Pocket Monsters, and then for the West, Pokemon. And it's just Pokemon. But it's so interesting just because like he, deep in my mind, like I'm not trying to make any competition or anything like that, but it's like, did Satoshi Tajiri beat Shigeru Miyamoto at his own game? And it's like, is Pokemon bigger than Mario?
Mario and Zelda. It is. You know what it is? It's very strange. It's very strange. When you think about like the two most recognizable IPs, you might think Pokemon and Mickey Mouse, right? If you think about from child to adult, international, who would be recognized? Right. What is it about cartoon mice that we like so much? It's very strange. It's like you take something that normally, because like when you think about it, rewind the clocks 100 years, having a mouse in your home was way more common than it is now. Like even people who were like medium class, middle class, like a mouse in your home was a lot more common, hence the Tom and Jerry cartoons, etc. Right? Another cartoon mouse. So it's like if you could take something that like it used to be scary or a problem and you make it cute and fun, it's like we almost like that, right? Teddy bear, right? A bear would claw your fucking face off, but you let your baby cuddle one to sleep. Right?
Exactly.
There's something about taking that frightening and making it cute that we just seem to love so much.
Yeah, and that's so true. I didn't even think about the mouse in the house and then Tom and Jerry, being a cat. And one other thing is that this is kind of random, but one thing that really stands out for well animated shows or anything animated, first of all, The Simpsons, right? You fairly have any kind of show or media that has yellow characters.
You just
blew
my mind.
So The Simpsons is yellow, right? So we got The Simpsons, we got Tweety Bird, right? If you really want to go back down the line, and
Pikachu.
then we maybe have Winnie the Pooh, and then you got Pikachu, right? So it's like the color of these characters actually does have a lot to do, because think about all the shows that are out there that have families, that are comedies, that are animated, but The Simpsons, that color does a lot. The color of their, like the animated colors.
It's a primary color, so it pops off the screen.
Right, exactly, it does. And even, there's something about Shigeru Miyamoto was saying that, when Breath of the Wild came out, he said, well, let's look at Disney, right? So you have Mickey Mouse all the way from 1950 or something like that. Even before that. Yeah. I know nothing really about Disney, but I do know Shigeru Miyamoto was very focused on, like Mickey. He said, for example, Mickey Mouse, if you look at Mickey Mouse, over the years, they've had to change his design. That's how he's really been relevant with the times. You got to mix it up, right? So Pokemon's been doing that, but particularly The Legend of Zelda has done that very well. And the large step, better than anyone. Better than fucking anyone. Exactly. So they're very maybe they're just like 35-year anniversary. Pfft, how about 45? How about 55? They're just like, oh, we don't give a fuck. We're gonna make this way down the road.
35. We're in for the long haul.
I know.
Like, this is phase one.
Yeah, everyone's like, where's the anniversary? He goes, oh, you'll get it eventually. Just some crazy shit like that. But yeah, even the colors of the characters, like that's huge, right? Like I know that blew my mind when I first heard that. I was like, oh my God, there's no other character that's yellow that people just love, So that kind of shook me up a little bit.
Dude, no, it's interesting. colors. I mean, this is a whole other topic and a whole other rabbit hole. But it's like colors they send signals, dude.
Yes.
It's a very. We'll save that conversation for another podcast because we do only have about 10 minutes left here, and we haven't touched on Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
And I see you went out of your way to decorate your little overlay there. I see we got
indeed
box action figures, which are awesome.
We definitely do. Yeah. It's crazy because you could only get these with the big pack of the Kingdom Hearts 3 game. It was like some kind of big promotional bundle that you had to pre-order or something like that. And it sold out like crazy. But I found these little guys on eBay. So I was like, I gotta get these. Like there's no way. But yes, Kingdom Hearts, please, let's get at this.
Let's get at this. So listen, there's so much going on. I don't even know where to begin. Union Cross finale. What do you think we're gonna see, man? What do you think's coming?
Dude, I honestly have no idea. The category of Kingdom Hearts is the one that I know because with Pokemon and Smash Bros, I can at least guess. I can at least throw something in there that
they're a little more predictable.
A little more predictable, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I just know Tetsuya Nomura has gone full Kingdom Hearts on Final Fantasy VII, and now it's like I'm not sure what he's really gonna do with Kingdom Hearts, because I could be totally crazy, but I am totally wrong. Like I just remember, I think it was like in 2017. I saw from someone's YouTube channel, they were talking about some interview with Tetsuya Nomura, and he said, if we can't get Toy Story in the new Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't want to make a new Kingdom Hearts.
I think it was like they don't get a game. It's like I think it had more to do with Pixar. I could be wrong, because I think if you ask me, I think Wreck-It Ralph is going to be another really important one.
Definitely.
So I think he was like, listen, it's Pixar or you don't get a game. Because the thing about Nomura, I think he's a very smart guy. Look, he's been in the business a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I think he understands he has all the leverage. Because I've spoken to a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans about this. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Imagine for a minute, you will, Disney's had enough of Nomura's shit.
Right.
Like, kick him off the project, and Disney says, we're taking Kingdom Hearts over. We're going to develop it. Are you buying that game?
I mean...
let me just stop you there. The sheer fact you're sitting there and they no longer have you in their pocket shows you all the leverage Nomura has.
I know.
And that's why they're going to let him do what he wants. Okay.
Exactly.
Xemnas chokeslammed Mickey Mouse in Dream Drop Distance. The man is going to do what he wants. He has the leverage. And to Disney's credit, they have his back. For the most part, they let him do what he wants. Look, none of us know what the nitty gritty is between Square and Disney when it comes to these things. We only have what we've seen in interviews.
Right.
It does seem like Disney's put a little bit more pressure on when it came to Kingdom Hearts 3 as opposed to some of the other games.
Also, with if I can interrupt you for a sec, they also put a lot of pressure on him for Melody of Memory, because they didn't. Yeah, I saw some interview where it said Tetsuya Nomura, like they brought up making a melody or rhythm game, kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy. I remember they did that on the 3DS. They had a rhythm game on there. Disney brought up they brought up the idea to him, and he said no. And then they brought it up to him again. They're like, you got to make this game, which I thought was very interesting. And I was like, whoa, like I never knew Disney would be that kind of pushy to kind of make, or Square Enix. It's very interesting. So I'm not exactly sure, but he said he basically was kind of forced to do it. So
well, he's been a total chat about it for as long as we know. Because I think I saw a video that apparently his first meeting about Kingdom Hearts with Disney, he went into the meeting and all these guys who he didn't know, who, you know, for the most part just seemed like suits the way he talked about them, that he was, they were giving him all these ideas. Like, we were thinking we could do this. We were thinking we could do that. We should do this and that and that and that. And then apparently he went back to Japan and just got started and didn't do anything, they said.
That's amazing.
Like,
good for him.
Total Chad mode.
Good. I mean, that's the only kind of chat I like.
It's the only kind of chat I like. But you know what? It comes down to, again, it's like, listen, Disney, the people at Disney, they don't know what it takes to make a good Kingdom Hearts game.
They don't know they don't know what it means to make a good video game either. That
too. They simply do not. So it's like, if they think they're gonna, they don't. Look, again, the sheer fact that you hesitated at the idea of buying a Kingdom Hearts game that Nomura didn't have anything to do with shows you that he's got the leverage. And at the end of the day, look, movie theaters, as we all know, aren't doing as well as they used to.
Exactly.
Movie tickets don't sell as well as they used to. Putting out shows on streaming services don't bring in as much cash as movies.
Right.
So Disney, they're not strapped for cash by any means. But they're questioning whether their current model is sustainable. You know, the movie going experience, the theme park going experience. And then they look over at all those Kingdom Hearts 3 copies they sold. And they're like, we better make sure this keeps going. And to their credit, they made a smart move, and they ended that exclusivity deal with EA when it came to Star Wars, and they're going to let other developers make Star Wars games. So I think, because it's hard, right? Because like, look, Disney again is like, as a company, is low-hanging fruit. They're kind of easy to rip on.
Right, you know? Exactly.
But it's like, people have to remember, like, the whole company isn't 10 guys in a room.
Right.
Like, that company is so huge. Like, the people at the top, like the people at the top making the big decisions, they have almost nothing to do with so much of the product that comes out of Disney, whether it's by way of the video games or anything else.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like Lucasfilm under Disney and Marvel Comics under Disney couldn't be any more like separate, different.
Exactly.
Like, it's very weird. I feel like people have misconceptions about the company. Like it's this one hub of guys that make every decision about every single thing.
Right.
And it's a little more decentralized than that.
That's a good point. Well, it's also really weird because when you asked me, like, would you buy the game if Nomura wasn't on it? I was thinking, it's like, well, I'd probably buy the game, but it wouldn't be the game that I'd be used to from the series. It would be totally different. And I don't know if I want to buy that, like it's not going to be like he is Kingdom Hearts. Can you imagine? That's the end of the story. Yes. What is Kingdom Hearts? It's Nomura. Yeah. I would absolutely. I'd be like, this is perfect.
It was worth every penny, sir.
I know. It's like this totally makes sense. But it's
something
so
to think about, right? It's like the only way, like, and I feel very strongly about this. I feel this way about Toriyama with Dragon Ball. Right. I feel this way about Miyamoto with, say, Zelda. I know this might upset some people. I feel that way about George Lucas with Star Wars.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like once you lose the visionary, the person, like from which all the worlds spring, once you lose that, it loses a part of its identity. And the only way I could sort of see it working is if there was someone at Square that was like Nomura's understudy or his protege.
Right.
And that he was like, I passed this series on to you.
Right.
You've worked under me for 20, 30 years. You know what this means.
Right.
Move it forward.
They're doing that now. I know they're doing it with Zelda right now. Like Shigeru Miyamoto's actually having like young people, and he's like, well, when talking to these young developers, they actually have really good ideas, blah blah blah. I think I could be totally wrong.
Someone?
I think they're definitely getting a new generation ready for the future of games, or the future of franchises particularly.
Dude, it's sad to think about, but a lot of these creators whose works we've loved since we were kids, they're getting old.
I know, like Masuda and stuff for her Pokemon. I mean, he's going to pass it down eventually. But I remember it was. I mean, you would definitely know this. It was like with Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was like the young developers actually wanted the game and the storyline to be exactly the same, a full remake. But then I think Nomura was I don't think so.
Well, it wasn't so much Nomura. Based on interviews, right? Nomura seems to be the one who wanted to keep it in line. Apparently, it's Kitase and Nojima who were like, we want to change everything, and then apparently Nomura's the one who's like, let's keep it alive. I don't know. None of us know.
None of us really know.
None of us really know. It could be all PR at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. True. But based on their PR, the impression they're giving is that Kitase and Nojima are the ones who want to introduce chaos into order. And Nomura, who seems to like those ideas, is the one saying, yes, but let's keep it relatively in line.
Yeah.
Like apparently it's been that way. Apparently back with OG FF7, Kitase wanted to, either Kitase and Nojima, I don't know, but one of them wanted to kill off your whole party at the end of FF7. Not just Aerith.
No.
And apparently it was Nomura and someone else who advocated for no, just Aerith.
Holy shit. I had no idea.
And let's be real. Let's not act like Nomura isn't some wild, like four-dimensional, fuck your brain storytelling kind of guy. He absolutely is. But again, this is why it's always complex when you think about these things. Right. It's not just him. There's a network of people in there. That whole network is sick in the head when they make these things.
Right.
And they all kind of serve these different roles. Some of them some of them hit the brakes. It's like apparently another one. I'm sorry to keep rambling here.
No, go. I love it. That's amazing. I did not know that. Holy shit.
So you played 7 Remake, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so big spoilers for anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled on 7
Leave
Remake.
now. 3, 2, 1.
We're at the end of the podcast anyway. It's a very good time to leave if you want to leave. So you know how they showed Zack at the end, right?
Right, correct.
So apparently there's a cut out there where apparently they were like, what if we showed them everything? And so there's this cut out there of the ending where they showed like so much more. And then ultimately they decided let's just show them Zach.
What?
Yeah, so apparently they played with the idea of like, what would this ending be like if we totally just all of it, like all of it.
Really?
And again, people, this could all just be PR.
Right, this could all be, yeah.
All could just be PR. Who knows? Could be my misinterpretation of the data.
Really?
I don't know. Look into it yourselves always. But apparently this was an idea among there. It's like, it's very interesting to think about.
That is interesting. It did feel it. I mean, it's like I remember. I mean, because playing Sephiroth at the end of like Final Fantasy VII Remake, for me personally, I was like, maybe a little bit too soon. You know, like maybe we should have a couple more dates before we start dating, type thing. And I was like, this. I mean, like I know what they're doing because they got to get people to buy the first one, obviously.
That, and I feel like it's a how do you put it? It's a I don't want to say a limitation, but it's like an expectation of the genre to have some larger than life boss battle at the end.
Exactly.
Because if our final boss battle was the motorcycle mini game, you leave that game like
it needs more or something. Like that's what people would say. Like you didn't put enough in it.
Well, I think about it all the time. I got a buddy of mine, Chris, who we actually have a Final Fantasy VII podcast, like strictly specifically on that.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I followed.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, man. It's sick.
The Midgar Minute for those listening. Plug yourself. No shame. My channel. Anyway, lost my train of thought. See, this is why you don't plug yourself. But
something with in the ending of Final Fantasy VII.
Got it back. So we did an episode about our hopes for FF7, and we both said we hope they take some liberties. We hope they change some things up a little bit. And you know, the more I think about it, right? Let me make one thing clear too. I would have loved a shot-for-shot remake. I would have loved. I really would have. I really would. I prefer I prefer what they're doing. At least the concept. They could fuck up the execution, but conceptually, I really like what they're doing. Even though I would have loved the shot-for-shot remake. But with that said, if that game just ended like we were at the end of the highway, there would be zero reason to talk about this game. Like, no reason. We would all know exactly what was coming. There'd be no surprises.
Or even play it, right?
We would just be like, oh, we got to the end of the highway, so we'll just wait until
that looks really cool, but what the fuck else is gonna happen?
Exactly, right? And then it kind of feels like, and I don't think this was always a fair accusation. Some people were like, oh, so you're gonna sell one game as 3 games now? Where that's a very unnuanced way to look at what they're doing.
Right.
But if you were to take that approach, this almost negates that whole idea. Because it's like, no, this isn't just a retelling of the old story.
Exactly.
Now it needs to be 3 different games because it is something a little bit different.
It is. Exactly. You know? That's a really good point. And I mean, honestly, I prefer exactly what you said too. I like the newer style they're going because I didn't even think about like, what else are people going to talk about? Like, what else are they going to do? Like,
here's my theory about how, Aerith's going to die.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, let's talk about all the stuff that we know is going to happen. Like Square's smart because they know they have their finger on the culture. That's one thing I actually like about Square.
That is true.
And they're very content creator friendly. Without getting into the details, there's some developers and companies that are not very content creator friendly who don't like the kind of things you and I do. But Square loves it.
Yes,
they really do.
Right. They're very community friendly. They're very community friendly and accepting of like doing stuff like this or anything else. But I mean, it's like, because even that, it is kind of cool. First of all, we got the remake, but then it's also a little something different. It's totally different, actually. But then I saw some mobile game that's coming out of FF7 that looks like a straight remake. I could be wrong, but it's like
supposed to be like a highlight reel remake.
Yes. And I thought that looked really good. I was like,
I'm going to play it on my computer. It looks awesome.
Yeah, same here. I'm just like, holy shit. This is like what people wanted, I think, too.
Yeah.
So it's just like that kind of thing. Well, it's really crazy because like I'm one of those rare people that like I played Kingdom Hearts and that's how I found out about Final Fantasy is like, then I was like, oh, who's this like spiky hair dude with a big ass sword? And then I was like, who's this longer hair dude with a bigger ass sword? And I was like, yo, these guys are kind of cool. And then eventually, but I have to ask you one thing because I need to know this. So when KH3 first came out, all those fucking leaks that happened, I was not on YouTube for 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, I was off. And then, you know, I was playing the game. I finished it. I literally got everything. And then I was like, wait a minute, where's Cloud and Sephiroth? Like, well, I've been waiting like 10 years for this. Like, where are they? Other than Smash Bros.
See, I had my impression of that was, oh, I guess I didn't look hard enough, and then I
shit, like, that's awful.
Yeah, I was like, maybe they were in one of these worlds, because I remember the first time I played it. Right. I remember I wanted to just know what was going to happen.
Yeah,
so I was like, get through the worlds, go, go.
Same, me too.
So that's what I thought. Then, you know, I looked it up, and it was like, no, there's no Cloud and Sephiroth, and that was a little bit of a bummer. But at the end of the day, I'm all, and I know some people might disagree with this, and I respect that, but it's like, if Sephiroth, and I feel this way about a lot of other characters, but if Sephiroth and Cloud take time and resources away from our original characters and original story, I'm not sure I want them there. Right. I want them there to supplement and make the thing better.
Exactly.
But my overall feeling, whether it's Square properties or Disney properties, is if you're not building the original plot and original characters and original stories, you're really just in the way.
Exactly.
And again, without getting into the nitty gritty, the Frozen characters kind of just felt like they were in the way. It felt like they didn't really care about Sora. Meanwhile, like Jack Sparrow's like, that whelp knows more about the world than you know. And it's like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You're like I'm in a different world when I'm playing with Jack Sparrow and stuff. But there's a really good video about the whole like Frozen world in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it was on Game Theory or something like that. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I saw it.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, bro. I don't know what that's about, but the bad news of Cloud and Sephiroth kind of makes good news, right? So the bad news is they're not in, but I think it's a good sign, because the fact they put more Final Fantasy characters in the DLC makes me think they're planning to do something really big with Cloud and Sephiroth in the newer games. So if that means it's going to be cooler and better in the future, then do that. Right, then don't put them in KH3. That's the only kind of good thing I got from that. I was like, okay, then they're really planning to do stuff. I know Kingdom Hearts said they're taking like a year break or something like that.
Lies. Yeah, a year lies. A year break with story updates, PC ports. Yeah, good year off, guys.
Good year off. They ever since what you said about the them being on the Epic Game Store, I'm like, bro, why isn't they said it's too hard to develop for the fucking Switch? And you're like, no, they're just been working on it for the game Epic Games. And I was just like,
they're doing it for PC the whole time.
Holy shit, that's their they fucking lied.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, bro, you're lying to me.
They're crazy. But look, we are running up on time, unfortunately.
Oh no, you're good, man.
We're running up on time. I'll take note that you're the kind of guy I could probably do this for 2 or 3 hours with. So our next episode will definitely be longer. But I wanted to, before we wrap up, we talked about a lot of things today. But we got to Kingdom Hearts on the tail end, and I know you're a big fan. So before we sign off, I actually want to ask you, so why Kingdom Hearts, man? Why did Kingdom Hearts capture you as opposed to other series? What is it about Kingdom Hearts that drew you in?
Great question. Let's get it. One thing that really stood out to me, because I was lucky enough to play all of these. I think a great video title for this, I mean, do whatever the fuck you want, of course. But I think the Holy Trinity would actually be kind of, or something like that. Because for me, it's just the Holy Trinity: Kingdom Hearts, Smash Bros, and Pokemon. But something about the cover, the artwork cover of Kingdom Hearts, I saw that and I was like, whoa, that's cool. And I liked Disney, but I saw Donald and Goofy dressed up, and I was like, they look kind of fucking cool.
Like,
and
it's
then
knights and mages. It's like, oh.
Right, and the Keyblade is just something that's so iconic. I think it's not a sword, like it isn't. I don't know. I just really liked it. But playing the game, I loved the first thing I noticed was the artwork, and the second thing that stood out when I put that fucking disc in and I put it on is that when I got to the load screen, I was like fucking 13, and I was just like, like the music,
right?
Yeah, something
immersion, dude.
Totally, yeah. And it was like, even if you listen to it now, And like I'm actually I'm actually a second year master student in music performance.
I wanted to ask you about that keyboard in the back. I wanted to ask you about that.
No, you're good. I mean, we'll totally get into it for another time and stuff too. But I
Yeah.
mean, even you know, like you have to train your ear and stuff like that in school. And I just even listening to it now, I'm just like, oh my god, this is still beautiful. So I think the artwork and definitely the music of Kingdom Hearts really got me. Like even I mean, watching now, it can be a little cheesy. It's like my heart, but then I'm just like, yo, this is so wholesome and like. I love it so much, and it's like not that. Like I still like some people would look at it and say it's cheesy, but when I look at it, even now, I'm just like, dude, this is so perfect. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, it's so Disney, but it's so not Disney, which is probably why I like it.
Yeah.
and I think those two things were the biggest appeal. But I just loved like the open, not kind of the open worldness of it. Like for back then, that was huge. Like back then, that was an open world.
Believe it or not, right?
Believe it or not, yeah, that was like, I mean, that was a big thing when it first came out back in the day. So I think that definitely caught my attention. And I thought, like, you know, I loved Disney and stuff too. Like as a kid, like Peter Pan was my favorite, and Aladdin, and you know Robin Williams and stuff like that too. And I didn't know any of that like when I was a kid, but I just loved it. So I would say that was probably the biggest appeal. But even now, I'm in that generation. I'm actually 25, and it's like I was literally in the perfect time for when these games came out, and I'm still in the perfect time for when they're still making new stuff and doing new things. And it's like I'm very thankful for that. Like I was, you know, some people say like Gen 3 of Pokemon was my first game, Gen 4 was my favorite game. It's like, bitch, I was at #1 when #1 came out, and it was like I played literally everything. So it's like I'm definitely like really wanting to be in this game world and stuff like that. But that was the biggest thing to me, the artwork and the music for sure.
Dude, it's something to behold. My
Yeah.
first impression of Kingdom Hearts was the commercial where Simple and Clean played, and I saw
Oh,
Cloud, and then I saw
shit.
Simba, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like you know that meme of the guy who's like,
Yeah. It was just
like that was me as a kid. Like, wait, that broke my brain. You
Did
can't
you-
do that.
Did you play? So did you grow up playing Final Fantasy VII and stuff? And
I
then you
knew
saw
about
Kingdom
7
Hearts?
before Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Whoa, that must have been fucking crazy. Dude, I couldn't imagine being that like.
It's like I didn't have it's like I didn't have a choice. Like these are the kind of things that make me question free will on like the long scale, because I had already had a love for FF7, and it's so funny because I was at the age where it's like you're growing out of Disney, you know, a little bit. Like
Right.
you know, it's Saturday night. Like I'm not judging anyone, but it's like
No,
Saturday,
for sure.
Saturday night. I'm not putting on the Aristocats. Okay, I'm gonna do something else.
Right, exactly. For
But
sure.
it was like, oh my God. It's like, and I forget the name of the channel, but they do such a good video about this. It's called Kingdom Hearts Ain't So Dumb. And it's like, I really think at the core of the series, like part of it is really saying like, yes, you've grown too old for Disney. You've grown too old for fairy tales, but you can take these with you moving forward.
Yes.
It doesn't have to leave you. It doesn't have to fall to darkness. You can take that youthful spark and carry it with you forward. When you
That's
know?
genius.
And
That's
I'm going to look up the channel name because it's not fair to not shout this guy out. He really
No, you're fine.
Really,
That's actually
that's
a genius.
Any Kingdom Hearts fan owes it to themselves to watch this video. Hold on.
Dude, that's a really good point. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's like all these people have the stuff from their memories in childhood, but it's like you don't have to get rid of Disney. Like, if you can add it, that's even cooler.
Exactly. You can take the lessons those movies and archetypes have taught you and incorporate them into your being moving forward, right?
Right.
That's why, I don't want to get too into it. We have to wrap up.
No, you're fine, man. No worries.
We could have got a whole other hour. But listen, the guy's channel's name is B-Mask. I think
B-Mask.
he attaches, and the name of the video is Kingdom Hearts Ain't So Dumb Beyond Pictures.
I'll have to check that out.
Really, really good. It's a long watch. It's 40 minutes, but like, again, every Kingdom Hearts fan owes it to themselves to watch this video.
Wow.
But let's set our focuses back on you, my dude. We have to wrap up. Let people know where they can find your channel, and then we'll send us on our way.
Dude, definitely. Yeah, I actually have been like online for a very short amount of time. So I actually ordered my first gaming PC so I can finally do some good editing and stuff on my YouTube channel. So I'm pretty hyped for that. My YouTube channel is actually Treehouse within upside down exclamation mark, but I'm actually mainly on Twitch. So you can find it Twitch TV/Treehouse, and it's
There will be links in the description, everybody.
Yo, thanks, homie. And it's four under dashes right after Treehouse. So just Treehouse 4 under dashes. So I stream every day. Trying to figure out like good times to stream and stuff right now, but you can find me on there, and my Discord is also in my Twitch. So if you want to come by and say hi, if you be like, yo, I love Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon, and Smash Bros, come on and say what's up. So yeah, I'm on there. That's where you can find me.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, if you didn't catch that, all of his links will be in the description below. Give this man a follow. He's a good dude. He's one of us. In life, you have to find the others, and he's one of us. He likes that holy trinity, as he calls it. So, if that's your speed, listen, if Pokemon, Smash Brothers, and Kingdom Hearts is your speed, this guy right here is your man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have to have you on again.
Yo, of course. Thank you so much for having me, man. Awesome talk. Awesome talk.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, sickos and normies, you all be good, and we'll catch you on the next one.